Okay. So, hi Elizabeth. I know I'm on a super duper late today, and that a lot of people probably won't show up because it's so late that I'm starting. Hi Diana. Let me guess, you're working on a paper. Just kidding, sorry. Are you? I feel like you're always working on a paper. You work so hard. Yeah. As you can see from the title, you reached your Goodreads goal of 237. Holy cow. That's incredible. Oh my gosh, you're so awesome. Was that like your initial goal at the beginning of the year was 237? What a random number. May I ask why? That's ridiculously impressive. Wow. I meant to set this up earlier, my TBR, so we'll just go through it as I add it to my Goodreads list of my Smutathon TBR and see what ends up happening. So basically, I haven't been reading sirens. Of course there are sirens right now. I haven't read anything since the middle of October, and I read anything since the middle of October, and then this weekend I tried to pick up books again. I have read a few. They were all rereads because I love my rereads, and yeah, I'm very happy with that. But Smutathon, I think, would be a great thing for me to read, to participate in, because I definitely get through romance books very quickly and easily. So if I just focus on reading a ton of romance books this week, I feel like it will get me back into the reading mood. Hi, Judith. Hi, Hub. Judith and Elizabeth, are you telling me something I didn't know about? Yeah, so the first book that I'm going to be reading, there's 7 challenges for Smutathon. I probably should have put details in the description of this live stream, but I didn't, so just search it. Anyway, it's for Smutathon. There are 7 challenges, each based off of like romance tropes. And so there's one for each one, obviously. You can double up and stuff, but I just picked an individual book for each one. We'll see how it goes. So the first book that I picked was for The Enemies to Lovers, and that is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. It is a reread, and I wanted to read it by the end of the year. I wanted to reread it by the end of the year. And so I figured I'd put it in here for this. It's my longest book on my TBR, but not by a ton. It's not actually as long as it looks. Like, it's a fairly quick read. Hi, Keisha. Oh, girl, why are you up so late? Yeah, which is totally valid, and like, I feel like in the past when I have gone into like reading slumps and not read for a while at a time, I've like beaten myself up about it, like mentally, but still not wanted to do it. Whereas like this time, I didn't at all, and I was just like, I don't feel like reading, so I'm not gonna read, and I just did other stuff instead and didn't like guilt trip myself, and it was like super relaxing and nice. Key Sharon. Oh gosh. Sorry, that's really funny. We know what you meant, you're fine. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, yeah, North and South definitely is not smutty at all, but it is a romance, so I thought I would include it because it is also just about reading romance, even if they're not super smutty. Holy cow. Keysharon will be your new nickname. I love it. Oh, that's not what I meant to write. You need to play bingo where you do. That is a lot. Holy cow. Let me see if I even have this book on my Goodreads TBR. I don't know if I do. It doesn't look like I do. Let me pull up a different tab because honestly it takes so long to load into the My Books page. I'd rather just load a separate window up. Let me see. Books. This one. Is it not on my Goodreads TBR? It should be. I have a love-hate relationship with Samantha Young. I really like some of her books, and I really don't like some of her other books. I'm hoping this will be one of the loves, though. I really disliked the last, couple that I've read by her. Gwen didn't give it a good rating, which is not great, but Jessica loves it, but Jessica and I do not have the same taste in books usually, so I don't know if I trust that. I really love Jessica, and I respect her opinions, but we don't usually agree. Hi, Katie. Beastly Bones. Is Jacoby like a young adult mystery series? Is that what that is? I know what the cover looks like. Anyway, and that's for the Friends with Benefits one. And hopefully I like it. I don't know. I don't really have much more to say about that. So, I really wanted to read a Georgette Heyer book I don't know how to say that, book this year, and I haven't read one yet. This one was suggested to me by, Kara from, Wild Book Garden. This is her favorite Georgette Heyer book, and so she recommended it to me. We have pretty similar tastes in books, so I have high hopes that I will love it. And also I would like to knock it off my list this year because I hope we're still on for this. I hope I'm not just talking out of my butt right now. But she and I were thinking about switching, giving each other some recommendations to read for the year. So I think we were each going to give each other between 6 and 12 books that we think the other person should read, that we think that they'll really like, because we have such similar reading tastes, and we'll probably find new favorite books that way. And I know she'll probably add this to the list if I don't read it this year, and I want to get more recommendations from her. So I'm going to try to knock it off so I get an extra book recommended by her to read. So that's the plan, and this is going to be for a fake relationship. How scandalous. There we go. It's like a paranormal Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I didn't realize it was paranormal. I've never played bingo before. I've played it, I think, just with my family for fun, but I've never actually played it anywhere else outside of my house. The next book on my list is for Slow Burn, and that is Somewhere I'll Find You by Lisa Kleypas, which does not have good ratings. That does not make me feel assured. Oh dear. I don't know. I really like Lisa Kleypas, but I've heard some like pretty not great things about this book. So, no, I want to read it, you dum-dum. So, I'm going to try this one, but if I DNF it, I will not be surprised. So, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be my new favorite Lisa Kleypas, though, because I feel like I haven't loved one of her books recently. So, hopefully I do love it. But apparently, I'm hoping it's going to be slow burn, because I think it's about a husband and a wife that, like, were married when they were younger to each other, and, or, like, something, and then they end up meeting as, like, adults, but she, like, doesn't want anything to do with him, so he's, like, trying to win her heart, so I'm hoping it's going to be slow burn. If not, my backup for this category is Emma by Jane Austen, because I haven't read Emma since I started my booktube channel. It's like one of the first books I read when I started booktube, and I've read all of her other books more recently than that, so it's the one furthest back, and then after that I need to read Mansfield Park, and then I will have read everything within the past year by her, so that's good, I think, right? Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Emma, Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, and Sense and Sensibility. Is that right? Okay, anyway. Did I say Sense and Sensibility twice? I read Persuasion this year too, so I think that's all of them. And I even read Lady Susan this year, so that's the next one I need to read, and everything by Jane Austen is a super slow burn. Oh my gosh, Christopher was telling me about the Nora Roberts drama earlier today, which reminds me. He was telling me about it, and I'm like, goodbye. I just, no. You didn't look into it, but it seemed, but you read her blog post. Yeah, Nora Roberts totally did, like, Smutathon starts tomorrow and goes until the 17th, I believe, or the 16th. It's a week. So I guess the 16th. Nora Roberts, I don't know, is it silly to say, did a sick burn on her, but she did a good job. Very classy. Yeah, that's the author. Not this lady, the one, the book I just removed. Tony Adeyemi, I believe is how you say her name. Yeah, your book was on my buy list, and I also, like, I tried to read her book earlier this year. I got, like, maybe 15 pages in, and I was just kind of bored, so I put it down and have had no desire to pick it back up, so that just kind of, like, sealed the deal for me. Like, I already tried to read your book and thought it was, like, unengaging, which, like, I didn't give it a very fair shot, but also it's kind of your duty as an author to suck me in right away and not, like, bore me to the point where I'd rather read anything else. So, you should read Jane Austen, Judith, definitely. Yeah. Nora Roberts' response was, like, super classy. Yeah, Nora Roberts needs Tony Adeyemi, this author that has only written one book. Nora Roberts definitely needs to ride her coattails. It's so stupid. Okay, so basically, if anyone doesn't know what this drama is, basically this author that has only written one book before called Children of Blood and Bone that came out earlier this year, like, made a tweet saying that Nora Roberts' newest book that just came out a few weeks ago called Of Blood and Bone is plagiarism on the title, and that she stole the title, and that she's like trying to, yeah, like basically ride on her coattails, and that Nora Roberts like stole from her. So then there was like a ton of people that started attacking Nora Roberts online and like harassing her and stuff. And so then Nora Roberts had to reach out to Tony, and I'm not gonna I keep tripping over her name, Tony, and say that no, my book, I actually wrote and submitted the title before your book was even published. I've never heard of you before. I have no idea who you are. I don't care about you. And you need to make a retracting statement because I'm getting harassed. And so then what Tony does, okay, then this is the part that like really like sealed the deal of me not wanting to read her book. She didn't apologize for making this huge mistake and setting all her little like fiends on Nora Roberts, who, I don't know, is so stupid. So instead of apologizing, she basically just said, oh, apparently it wasn't plagiarism, and yeah. And she didn't say sorry, she didn't like explain it super well, so unless people were going and doing their research, it was still like kind of misleading, and she never actually apologized to Nora, where it's like if she had had an issue with it, this like dumb girl needs to not blast it on Twitter. She needs to talk to her publisher and talk to who represents her and see what's going on. And you can't copyright titles. And there's so many other books that have blood and bone in the title, and it's just like all these things. And yeah, Nora Roberts, I guess in the first book, I haven't read it, it's the second book in a series, and I guess in the first book that phrase is used a lot. And so I don't know, there's just like a lot of things, but it's like the fact that Tony like didn't apologized to Nora and still didn't like claim the mistake as like fully her own, and that she needs to not be an idiot online, that like really, and I don't know, it's just like, you are so stupid, lady. And like on top of me just like not liking you for like doing that and me not like respecting you for that, like also you're so stupid that you think that Nora Roberts is like trying to ride on your fame when Nora Roberts has written well over 200 books. She's been writing for like 40 years now. A very respected writer for 40 years, and has done all this stuff and has written so many books, and is everything she writes is all like an instant bestseller and everything. And this other lady's like gets one book on the bestseller list, and she's like, people are trying to steal from me. Oh, get over yourself, you idiot. I don't know. I do not feel inclined to ever read anything by this lady ever. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are just really stupid that are still like defending Tony and being like, no, Nora Roberts is blah blah blah, and it's like, it's still happening, but I feel like Tony's just hurt herself more than anything else. So it's just like so stupid. Okay, yeah, and exactly, everybody knows who Nora Roberts is, and not everybody, but most people know who JD Robb is, which is Nora Roberts' pen name. And it's just like, everybody knows who she is. Even non-readers know who she is. And like maybe Children of Blood and Bone, which is not an original title at all, by the way. Maybe Children of Blood and Bone will have more reviews on Goodreads than Nora Roberts' books, but that's because Nora Roberts is loved by people who do not use Goodreads and who do not consider themselves like necessarily avid readers, or even if they do, they're maybe of an older generation or just don't care about it. But they will still go out and buy every Nora Roberts book because they love her and they respect her and they think she's awesome. And I don't know, like the fact that you think that Nora Roberts needs to stoop to that level is so stupid. Ugh. I just hate how dumb she is. Yeah, and it's like, who is Tony in the book world that she does not know who Nora Roberts is? Like, That's like the only way that you would have thought that Nora Roberts was still in with you. You just have no idea who she is. Like, how do you not know who she is? Okay, sorry. And like the content is not the same as all at all. And it's like Children of Blood and Bone is like a very similar title to like Daughter of Smoke and Bone and stuff as well. So like she's riding on the coattails of Laini Taylor technically, because even though they're not exactly the same, it's still similar and still has that same ring and everything and uses some of the same words. Like it's so stupid. Your friends who barely read know who Nora Roberts is. She does not need to ride on anyone's fame. New authors trying to make her name for herself. Yeah, Nora Roberts, and you should just go read Nora's, like, it's pretty great if you go read Nora's blog post. It's basically, she says, like, honey, I've been writing books since before you were born. I think she says that. If she doesn't, I read that somewhere else that somebody said, I think somebody said that, like, Nora Roberts used the phrase blood and bone in one of her books, like, before Tony was even born. Where, if that is true, and I really hope that's true, that just, like, makes me so happy. But Nora's blog post, you should definitely read it because it's so good. And she doesn't even mention who this author is or what the books are or anything. She just, like, makes a blog post about it, like, dissing the crap out of her. It's beautiful. People were still like, Nora should have known to change her title. If anyone in the situation would have known who was who, it was the new author. Yeah, Of Blood and Bone is not that unique. Oh my gosh, Beverly Jenkins went off on Adeyemi, and one of Adeyemi's friends told her to check her white privilege. That is great. I saw somebody, there were other people as well that I saw, like, in, like, this Twitter feed that, I don't know, they weren't explicitly saying, like, check your white privilege, but they were saying, like, somebody was, like, commenting that, like, they were definitely interested in Tony's book, but now they would never pick it up. And someone was like, well, you never would have picked up her book anyway. And, like, you could tell that it was, like, because, like, her face was on her Twitter thing and she looks white, but honestly, she kind of looked Asian to me. And I was like, okay, you're just saying that because you think this person's white, is what I'm getting from that. But, my goodness. Beverly Jenkins needs to check her white privilege, definitely. Did she learn nothing from Cockygate? Oh my gosh. I haven't read anything by Nora Roberts yet, technically. I've read, like, half of one of her books, and I was enjoying it, but I just wasn't, like, feeling it at the time. I think it was just, like, how I was consuming it. I was consuming it on, like, a little play away. I would only listen for, like, 30 minutes a day, so it was taking me, like, weeks to read, and I just wasn't, I had to, like, return it to the library, and I just, like, never got back around to reading it. But I was enjoying what I read, and I definitely want to try her books as well. Also, I didn't love the narrator, which also, like, kind of ruined it. So I actually have one of her books that's a backup book for Smutathon. So if I get through the books on my TBR, it's definitely going to be one of the next books I pick up. Which wasn't intentional. It was already, like, on my list. But now I kind of want to push it up my TBR and try to get to it just because of this. And, like, read one of her books finally. Jill March and Sarah Hardesty. I've never heard of those names, but yeah, she's written so much. Has been on the bestseller list for years. You saw that about Beverly Jenkins and you were dying laughing. I'm gonna have to look that up because, oh my gosh. And Bev, oh, I just almost called her Bev because I hear other people call her that. But Beverly Jenkins is so funny too that like I can just like picture her like roasting people. I still haven't read a Beverly Jenkins book either. I'm like 99% sure. I really need to read some of her books. They're on my list. I just haven't yet. But I'm like kind of dying to. Because like I've seen a lot of, like I've heard like interviews with her and I've seen like her give speeches and stuff, and she's just like such an awesome person. I just need to read her books. The book that I want to read, I think, is paranormal. It's Dance Upon the Air. Oh gosh, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? I don't remember what it was. But, yeah. It's just like such a... Yeah, that one has witches. It's just like so stupid. Like, and honestly, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Honestly, I don't know, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the people, I don't know, people who love Nora Roberts is not gonna like pay attention to this bull crap and like care about it and side with Tony because like they're smarter than that and they realize that like this is really stupid. People who that already like Nora Roberts, and I feel like all the people that are like still like believing Tony and like not like relenting on this and stuff are like the people that never would have read Nora Roberts in the first place. So I don't really feel like Nora Roberts' reputation has been like damaged because either people won't know about this or if they do know, they won't care because they know it's stupid. And so I like, and I feel like also like people will be like, well, maybe I'll give Nora Roberts a try then because she's like so cool about this and did like a sick burn on her and like dissed her and stuff. Like maybe I want to read her and prioritize her even if I wouldn't have necessarily anyway. So like I feel like Nora Roberts, I don't want to say like she profited off of this, but like I don't feel like she was hurt by it either, in my opinion. But I don't know how correct that is. I haven't done like a ton of research into it because Chris and I were just talking about it today. But yeah, we had like genuinely like an hour-long conversation about this today. And then people also like on Twitter were like being really stupid and they were like, yeah, how is Nora Roberts said that she's never heard of Children of Blood and Bone? She's such a liar, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're so stupid. Like, Nora Roberts does not have time for this, like, young adult fantasy with a generic title. Like, she does not give two F's about that. Like, why would she know what it is? Like, she's kind of reclusive and is, like, doing her own thing, and she's, like, writing all the time. She doesn't have time to, like, care about your stupid book. Like, people that were like, how is she, like, she definitely knows who she is, she's just lying. It's like, you're so dumb. So dumb. Oh my gosh, I don't know what my hair is doing on this side. You never wanted to read that author's book before and you still don't. Like, I was interested mostly because like I want to know what the hype is like for work and stuff, but no interest anymore. The romance author community on Facebook went crazy. Awesome. That's so great. Yeah. I'm sure the romance community. Oh, I just love the romance community. They're seriously the best people in the world. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like her reception to book 2 is going to be much lower. I wish, like, this all happened, like, a couple weeks ago, right? Didn't, like, she first tweet initially, like, at the end of November, I believe? I really wish that I had, like, seen it happen in, like, live action, and I could have just, like, gone over to the Goodreads page and refreshed it and just saw, like, the books. Because if you click on a book, you can see, like, here, even on this one, you can see this many ratings, this many reviews, and then I think you can also see, like, how many people have, like, added it to their shelves. Yeah, so you can see, like, this many 21,002 reads. I wish I could have just gone over to Children of Blood and Bone and refreshed it and just see, like, the 2 read shelves just dropping as people deleted it off their Goodreads TBRs. That would have been perfect. You didn't hear about it until sometime last week. Meaning last week, meaning, like, this is the start of the week, Sunday's the start of the week, so sometime last week. Is that what you're saying? And I think Tony, like, just barely also, like, deleted the initial tweet accusing her because people were still reading it and going after Nora, so she finally deleted the initial tweet, but then she has her, like, not really apology still up, which is so stupid. And people are like, you need to delete this tweet too, and just, like, either say a real apology or, like, just don't say anything about it. Because obviously you're not, like, mature enough to step up and actually take the blame for your bad choices and the consequences for your choices. Or just, like, I don't know. That's why I really respect people like Philip DeFranco. Like, whenever he ends up, like, making a mistake, he, like, there's sometimes it's on other platforms, like, and I don't know about it, and then you'll watch his show and he'll be like, oh, I said this, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that, or I made this mistake and stuff. And it's like, you gotta respect Philip, because he's, I don't know, he, like, admits if he makes mistakes or does things, and he doesn't, like, try to hide it and, like, sweep it under the rug. Like, he's very upfront with about it, which is, like, so great. And I feel like it's the same thing. I don't know exactly what happened, but I guess there was, like, something, like, some video that Jenna Marbles posted, like, a while ago. Like, I think it might have been a couple of years ago, and that was, like, not okay or something, and she ended up taking it down. And instead of, like, sweeping it under the rug, she, like, posted a video about it that's still up, talking about what happened and what like, how she felt about it, and, like, apologizing and stuff. And it's like, you gotta own up to your mistakes. And I really appreciate when people do that have, like, big followings, huge followings. Okay, Sunday's the short of the week. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter at all yet either, and I don't know when Chris found out about it, because he only told me about it today. But I know we were, like, looking back, and I feel like the tweets were, like, a little far back, but it was definitely at least early this week. This, like, I guess last week. I don't know if Sunday's the start. Anyway, I did hear about it. I have thoughts, and I don't know, just, like, how dumb. I'm never reading your book now. Congratulations. More Than a Mistress by Mary Valog. Let me see if I can find an edition without an ugly sticker on it. Maybe I'll just do, like, the Kindle edition. That's fine. Okay. This is the first book in the Mistress series, woo! And this is for the challenge of Forbidden, because she's a servant, except for, of course, she's not actually a servant, but she's a servant, and he's, a duke or something, and then he ends up making her his mistress, I guess. I don't know. I'm reading it because it's Mary Balog. I don't know how I feel about the summary. Is basically what I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. No. Oh, it's not mine until midnight. It's mine till midnight. I keep doing this, and then it keeps not coming up. I need to learn the titles of the books I'm reading. Mine till midnight. 2 Lisa Clay passes are on my TBR this week. Hopefully, I like them both. Mine till midnight. That's for different worlds because she did not grow up in the aristocracy, and so now she like got a fortune. Now she's like suddenly thrown into it, and she really doesn't know like the social norms and all the stuff. Anyway, and then my final book is Rock Addiction by Nalini Singh. And this is the first book in the Rock Kiss series. Wow, I'm starting a lot of new series this week. It's probably bad. I shouldn't do this. Anyway, this has been recommended to me in the past. I didn't get to it, but now I will. I think this got recommended to me to read for Newts for one of the challenges. Not for Newts, for, actually for the romance book bingo. This got recommended for like a book with a musician in it or something, but I ended up using Lick for that instead, so I didn't end up getting to this, but it's still on my TBR, and I thought I would use it because it's for the challenge of a one night stand, and apparently there's one in that. Also, my other option for this one is Flight or Fight, which I have it on hold from the library. That's also by Samantha Young, so either I'll have 2 Samantha Youngs or not, but she's definitely up there on my list. I do want to read it, but I have it on hold from the library, and I don't think I'll get it until January, actually, so it's like I want to read it, but I'll read this one instead. I actually haven't done anything with it because when I got the recommendations, I just like stopped reading. So I actually do want to like check back in and start reading them early next year maybe. I'm not going to concentrate on them for the end of this year just because I feel like that will overwhelm me. Like I'm trying to get some other things out of the way first, and I think I'm going to be trying to do that in What's His Face as well and in January. And just like try to focus on my Audible books, try to focus on series, and like go ham on those 2 things. Gosh darn reading slumps ruining everything. But I do also want to go check, because I haven't done this in a while. Okay, this is the Unapologetic Romance Readers. I had ooh. That's so fun. Okay. They had what is it? Reading challenges. What have people said on this thread? In July, which is a really long time ago. Okay. Apparently it was for me, and I just never responded because I'm a turd. Okay. So let me see. Where is mine, and can I update it? Here's mine. Okay. So this was the romance reading challenge. Okay, so I still haven't read a Civil War, antebellum, Reconstruction romance because I tried to read an extraordinary reunion and it made me feel so anxious because reading about the Civil War makes me feel really anxious, and I know I should do it in my brain. My brain knows that I should read about the Civil War because, you know, it's important stuff to read about, but my heart is like, this is the most depressing thing ever, and I don't want to read about it. So I tried to read that, and I just couldn't. Let's see, have I read a Bodice Ripper? I think I was gonna count for Bodice Ripper, I was going to count, okay, let's go back to what I've read this year since I last updated this. When's the last time I updated this? When I read The Queen Wills. Okay. For Bodice Ripper, I think I'm gonna count, gosh. I think it's a Lorraine Heath, actually. I actually have the audio from the Audible Romance package for Rock Addiction, but thank you. Oh, but Keisha used it, so perfect. Okay, so the last thing that I updated on there, oh my gosh, was so long ago. I have all these other books now. Oh, frick. Okay. The Queen Wills was over 100 years ago, 100 books ago. So there's a lot that I've read since then. I think Texas Destiny technically counts as a Bodice Ripper, so I'm gonna use that one, I think. Where the frick is the Queen's Will? As the Queen Wills. Oh, there it is. What the Queen Wills. Okay. So what have I read since then? I've read Wives and Daughters. I've read Soaring. I've read Snow White, Phoenix and Ashes. All of these technically count as well, but and Texas Destiny. Let's see if these fit in any of them. Okay, so I'm missing, these are the ones I'm missing. Keep your eyes out for these. Antebellum, which I don't think I'll have gotten. Big Beautiful Women. So if any of these, if you remember, if any of them have fat protagonists. Bodice Ripper, Cowboy / Western. Oh, frick. Ooh. So maybe I'll have to use that for something else then. Gothic Romance, Holiday / Christmas, Inspirational, which I may just use for like clean as well. I'm not sure. Jazz Age, Pirate Romance, ooh, Science Fiction, Vampire, Time Travel, Virgin Hero. Frick, I don't think I've gotten a lot of these. Wives and Daughters, I mean, I might just cheat that one in for Virgin Hero. Soaring. I don't remember. I know some of Kristen Ashley's heroines are plus-sized, but I don't think she was. Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like people would have recommended that. I mean, written about that. Ooh, so I don't know if Soaring actually fits into anything. Rats. Snow White counts for my Jazz Age, which is excellent. Okay. Oh. I feel like I missed so many of these, and I like had such good intentions to read them, and then reading slumps. Yay, my favorites. Oh my gosh, I made this box way too big. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. So Jazz Age, I can put in add book / author, add book, add the link of the book, and then I can put this in, the S with the slash. I can paste in that it was a 5-star book. I love it. Oh gosh, where was it? Jazz Age. There it is. And then I can also put the cover up here. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So there's Snow White done. Yay. One more done. Phoenix and Ashes. This is World War I. Does that count? Oh dear. It's magic. It's a fairy tale retelling. It's not exactly inspirational, but maybe I'll use it for that. No, I won't. I just don't think I want to read an inspirational romance. A pirate romance, science fiction, time travel, and vampire. Okay. Texas Destiny. Should I use this? I think a lot of people marked it as like Bodice Ripper. Oh, maybe they didn't. Oh, frick. I thought this would count. Okay, so a lot of people didn't mark this apparently. So I don't know. I feel like I tried to read a couple Bodice Rippers this year and I just really hate them. So I'm just going to use this as my Western. Because I didn't feel like it was like too Bodice Rippery. So I'll just use it as my Western and call it good. Where was the Western one? Cowboys / Western romance. I really liked this one, by the way, you guys, if you want. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, okay, there we go. Okay. So I'm doing pretty gosh darn good, I guess. And I gave this one 4 stars. I do believe, didn't I? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I feel like it was like 3.5. Oh, it was 4.5. Okay. I was like, I thought like there was a half star. So I guess I didn't love it quite as much as I did originally because it hasn't stuck with me as well. But I did really like this one when I read it. Okay. So there's Texas Destiny done. What else have I read? "11 Scandals to Start to Win a Duke's Heart" is total garbage. I hate it. What else have I read? Okay. Duchess by Night, I don't think fits into any of those. So we're looking for Big Beautiful Woman, Bodice Ripper, Gothic Romance, Holiday Christmas, Inspirational, sorry, I've said this like 80 billion times, Pirate, Science Fiction, Time Travel Vampire, Virgin Hero. I feel like he might have been. Let me double check. I know I had my book bingo. I feel like I did end up reading a Virgin Hero one for book bingo. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, my bad. So, I don't know. I don't think he was. Okay, so I don't think that counts for anything. What happens at con? I don't think had anything particularly wonderful. Duke by default. Didn't have anything particularly wonderful. I thought that night. Suddenly you. The Bride, which I hated. Landline. I'm counting for time travel romance. Oh dear. Oh, I put it under vampire romance instead. Whoops. Need to fix that. Okay, there we go. And then I can put it up here under covers. Okay. So Landline covered that. Tell Me had nothing good. Firefighter Dragon. The Highwayman. Cinder. Hit Cinder! Science fiction! Woo! Okay, there's another one. Okay, we're really gosh darn close. Like, we're only missing a few for the year, which honestly, I think at the beginning I said, like, I have no idea how many I'm gonna get. Let's see what happens. So, I'm pretty, actually, gosh darn pleased and surprised with how many I got. I would love to have gotten them all, but also some of them are just not my taste. I don't really want to force myself to read books that I wouldn't otherwise read for the sake of this challenge that I really am not taking seriously in the first place. I feel like I'm still going to do better than like most of the people in the challenge. So, as long as I'm winning at something, I guess it's fine. Okay, so there's Cinder. Mayor of James could technically count as Jazz Age romance as well. Holiday romance is Sparkle Witch. It was garbage, but it was a holiday romance. It doesn't even... Oh, it does say romance on here. Okay, so I'm like, does it even say it? Okay, we're getting close. I really didn't care for this book. At all. I thought it was pointless and boring and made the characters stupider, and it was quite insipid. Don't recommend. Oh, I haven't been adding in the star ratings for these either. Oh, whoops. Oh, well, I can try to go back to do that to any of the ones that I'm missing. Okay. Sparkle Witch. Soulless. She is plus size, not necessarily in the manga as much, but she's definitely described as plus size in the book. And I'm gonna count it. Okay, good. I was like, have I not read any more, really? Because there were several that I read that had like plus size protagonists, but I chose them to like count for other ones because I thought plus size would be easy, which it was. But I was just like, have I not read any others? Because I read like 3 that counted. And I was like, why is nothing else counting all of a sudden? Like, maybe I should go back and switch some of those other ones. But I thought the other ones were harder, so I chose them for those instead. Oh, that, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to put it in right at the beginning. There we go. You remember my rant on Sparkle Witch? Yeah, I was not a fan. It was just so dumb and useless. Like, why does it exist? For genuinely no reason. Okay, so Sparkle Witch, Soulless. Okay. Slightly Dangerous, When a Duke Returns, Midnight Pleasures, House Moving Castle. When Beauty Tamed the Beast. I don't even remember what I'm looking for anymore. Okay, so Bodice River, Antebellum, Gothic Romance, Inspirational, Pirate, Vampire, Virgin. I don't know. I feel like it's not Gothic, but I almost feel like I could use When Beauty Tamed the Beast because it does, like, I don't know. It has, like, those Beauty and the Beast vibes, which I feel like are pretty Gothic sometimes, but it doesn't count, and I'm not going to count it. Oh, I technically could have used any of these as a holiday romance as well. Maybe I'll do that instead, because honestly, the first one was actually really fun. Which was, where is it? Her Halloween Tree. I could use that as my holiday romance instead, because that is much better than Sparkle Witch. And I don't know. I just personally prefer to stick books that I actually enjoyed on here, simply for the fact that, like, if anyone else goes through my list, I would rather them see me talk about something that I actually like and recommended, so that for, like, next year or anything like that, they can, like, go through my list and be like, oh, this person really liked this, maybe I'll try that, rather than, wow, this person rated everything 1 star and hated everything, so now I don't have any recommendations to go off of. Okay, so I'll add that in. What was that? Holiday romance. Okay, much better. That makes me feel better. Sparkle Witch is dumb. Okay. I don't think she was plus sized. It was stupid, but I don't know. I don't think she was. Okay. And we're pretty much caught up at this point. And Josh and Hazel's. Okay. Which I already found plus size anyway, so. It's not the same prompts every year. It's, they alter it slightly, like, depending on, like, feedback. But some of them are the same. So, like, if they use some of the same prompts and people, like, go through this list. So let's count how many covers I have in here. So that's 2, 4, I mean, I guess I had 37 right here. So there's 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. 43 out of 50 is honestly not bad. Not bad at all. So let's go through and edit that. So there's 43. And then, okay, so this was a 3-star read. Her Halloween Treat was a 4-star read. 2-star. 3-star? 2-star? I don't remember what I gave Cinder. Do you guys remember what I gave Cinder? Three-star. Okay. It's like, seriously, like a 2.5 for me. Which is why I couldn't remember which way I went with it. Landline, I still gave 5 stars. Oh, I deleted too many. It just looks like so many. Oh, I need to delete this off of Vampire Romance. Okay. Not terrible. Yeah. Antebellum, like, I am interested in, but, like, emotionally I have a hard time. Bodice Ripper, I'm not interested in at all. Let me see. Inspirational Romance, I'm not interested in, like, at all. Pirate Romance, I mean, I guess I could try it. I think the book that I'm actually, one of the books that I was thinking about reading, the other Miss Bridgerton, I think he's a privateer. I'm going to count that one if I get to it before the end of the year. And Virgin Hero. I don't know. I don't even know what would be on my radar for that. In case you guys are wondering how I choose books for any of my categories and stuff, I'll usually just type in what I'm looking for with Goodreads, and then these are all the books that people marked on Goodreads with Virgin Heroes. And then I'll go through and see if there's anything that I'm interested in reading. Ooh, Transcendence. Transcendence was another book that I was actually thinking about reading for Smutathon as well, for different worlds. But Miss Bridgerton was my backup, Transcendence was my backup, and then my main was Mine Until Midnight. So maybe I'll just switch one of those in instead and try to get a couple more of these off. Maiden Lane. Let me see. Are any of these ones that are already on my TBR? No, no, no. And I'll usually go through like the first like 4 or 5 pages, and if nothing catches me, then I'll be sad. Okay. I think, like 30 books behind schedule for my Goodreads reading challenge. But for originally at the beginning of the year, I set 100 as my reading challenge, so I've technically beaten that, at least. And I don't really care if I get to, like, that main goal, because I feel like I've done pretty good. Yes, Christmas Vacation. That's really smart, Diana. All over the place. Jeez. I believe in you, Kitty. You can do it. The Highwayman. Ooh, yes, he was a virgin. Okay. The Highwayman. I feel like it was one of those weird situations where he, like... I guess it's a major plot spoiler, so I shouldn't tell you. But I guess plug your ears if you don't want to know a plot spoiler for The Highwayman. But I think he was assaulted as a kid. So I would still count it. But it's really depressing. Okay, you can unplug your ears now. Gosh. gosh, I just killed it this year with this. I gave that one 4 stars. I really liked that one. I actually read this one, I think between somewhere around the middle, so I'll add it in right here. $44. Giselle's killing it, and I think I should be able to get 2 more, so I'll be at 46 out of 50. And the only ones that I wouldn't have read would be the ones that I don't care about, or the ones that gave me major anxiety and made me depressed. Would Gothic romance, would you consider counting, I mean, it's not Gothic. Do you think, I don't know, like a steampunky book would count for that? Because I'm like, I could use the other what's its face, but it's not really Gothic. I don't know if I've read anything that's like a Gothic romance ever in my whole life. I don't know. Okay, what have I read? I've read Rebecca. Oh, I read Jane Eyre this year. I don't really consider that a Gothic romance because I don't think it's romantic and I hate it and I don't consider it a romance, but you know what? I read it